damn it.
Hi everyone, welcome to Toad TV. I am your host Mary Beth, and this lovely arm next to me is my co-host.
I'm Helen. You can find me as HelenHG69.
You can find me, Mary Beth 494.
I believe this is take 1,000 for the day. It's just not going well.
Not at all. We tried this outside. It's hot and humid here again in New Jersey. You just would not believe it. I'm beginning to believe all the hype about the swamps of Jersey, you know, because this humidity will not leave. However,
so we were outside.
Tried that.
Too much outside noise there.
It was just, we were coming across cranky and...
Surprisingly enough, would you believe we were cranky?
Okay, so let me just put it I'm pretty sure I said this before. I don't do heat well. I mean, I do warm heat when you come in from the cold winter. That I do very well.
That's hot humid though.
This hot humid heat, I do not do well.
It's the humidity. Yeah. And then having dogs breathe on you.
We have our two co-hosts with us. They are Spike and Drusilla, and you are not going to bark. You are going to behave yourself. That was one of the reasons we came in, because somebody, not that one, the other one, was not behaving. So we are going to relax. Everybody's going to lay down. And we're going to have a good podcast. Okay? We got lots of good stuff to show.
Everybody go away.
All right. So here we go.
I also think we have a cat on one side playing with a safety pin.
At least one. Another one may come through. You never know. All right. Anyway, we are the Crafty Toads. This is a crafty podcast. We like to talk about all sorts of things that we like to make, like knitting and crocheting and sewing and quilting and other stuff. Just general stuff. Right?
Sure.
Okay.
This may never see the light of day.
Oh, please don't. We're gonna do this. It's gonna come through. It's gonna be good. Okay, so here we go. We have a podcast page on Ravelry that is called The Crafty Toads, that you can come and join us there. We talk about all sorts of lovely things, like what you're making, and I don't even know anymore. Oh look, here's the other cat. This is Dudley, Dud the Stud.
Say hi, Dudley.
And we are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow. You can find our store, toadhollowNJ.com, and are across the webs as Toad Hollow NJ. And you were starting to say that our store is now up and running.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's nothing in it.
No, it is empty until next week when we get back from our final show. And then we will put all the stuffs. All the stuffs that Mary Beth mentioned before will go into the shop. And but we got the website up and running because we were having problems with people getting to the website.
Yeah, especially the mobile was having a problem, right?
Yeah.
But Helen talked to GoDaddy, who turned out to be awesome.
Yes, very, very helpful, very quick.
And I believe somebody has brought me her safety pin. However,
you have to
her whisker just brushed across the back of my leg, and it was just, what is that?
We have a crazy cat who plays with pins.
Yeah.
She plays fetch, so you have to throw it for her, otherwise...
It will be fine. We can do it after
her.
the podcast. We are going to continue. This is going to be a single take podcast.
I can definitely look at you like, whoa.
Oh yeah, you're adorable. Okay, well, since you have a cat in your arms, how about if I start?
How about?
Okay. I don't have any finished objects, but I do have some works in progress. I am doing all knitting this week, as with most weeks, but I'm going to start with my sweater.
So, did we mention hot, humid?
Also, we have done shows every single weekend in September, so that Dudley is just, you know, he's done having us be away, and really he just wants to be in Helen's arms.
There are shows where we go away
for 2 or 3 nights at a time.
And the cats, contrary to most cats, really like to be around us.
Yeah, but they don't want to come.
Yeah.
So they stay here, and they're always very happy when we get back.
So he's just going to bathe for you all.
So I think in one of our takes I said that today was Wednesday, September 26th, which it is. Just in case you wanted to know that.
It still is actually Wednesday, September 26th.
I don't know why, but you might want to know that. That's when we're podcasting. Okay. You know what? We're going to just take a deep breath, everybody, and we're going to get this under control because this is just like flying off the rails. All right. So my first whip is the JC sweater by Isabel Kramer. I started this to do with my mother. We gave it to my mother for Mother's Day, and she is knitting it. We dyed her yarn to do it in, and one of these days we will actually get a picture of it because, oh my God, it's stunning.
Oh, yeah.
And she was calling with all these questions. So I said, why don't I just cast on the same sweater and see what happens with it, and then we'll hit the questions at the same time, and it may be something that I can help you with. She is probably twice as far along her sweater as I am, so that really that's not helping at all. But I have cast mine on, and I have been working on it.
Now she can answer your questions.
Right. So here we are.
Really, this is ridiculous.
I am doing this in our color called the Northern Lights. It was one of our club colorways. It was December of last year, and I have done the top bit. I've done the decorative part, I have done the bottom bits, and now I'm about to split for my sleeves. What I decided to do was, this is the yarn. There's lots of color in it, but there's a lot of that apple green. And I decided that I was going to split between, rather than alternating skeins, I was going to split between the skeins with a little bit of our Forsythia yarn that was this year's April Club colorway, and I was going to put that as a band in between.
It's so pretty.
Each of the skeins of green.
So how much more are you going to do, or are you done?
I'm pretty much done, I think.
Okay.
The thing was, it was supposed to be a lot smaller. It was supposed to be just a really thin stripe. However, it happened that I ran out of the green just as I was starting my short rows. So then I had to do the short rows in the purple, and then I had to get it to the point where I was all the way at the end, because I didn't want, I wanted to have purple going all the way across. I didn't want it to just be the short rows.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and forth. So there's going to be a thicker band of purple in the back, and then coming around the front, it is barely there. So actually what I may do is go back once more across with the purple, just so that I have more than one row. I'll have at least 2 rows in the front parts, but that is where
the yarn, so that's good.
It stands right now. It's kind of scrunching on, but that's the way it looks right now. It looks really, really pretty. Also, what I am thinking of doing, I'm pretty sure I have enough, is I'm going to do the cuffs on the sleeves, the ribbing at the bottom, and the button band in the Forsythia, because then it'll just draw attention to the stripes and everything. And I don't know whether I do anything else on the collar. If so, I will do that in the Forsythia. If not, it will just be the way it is. But that is my first project, the JC sweater. It is coming along slowly but surely.
Okay, why don't you get down? Okay, down you go. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so when we were at the Catskills Fiber Festival, we bought the Toby Roxanne's new book, Double Designs. Or design doubles. So I showed last week I had started the Tower Hill shawl. What's that? It's a nice big shawl. It's written in DK. And I am using Orca Island is my main color.
It's so gorgeous.
And then my first stripes, most of my stripes are actually going to be in this Tsukiko colorway, which is purple. I'm not sure how well that's coming out. So to me it just looks like a dark blob, but
It may turn out better when you actually watch
yeah,
it back.
hopefully this color is better, because that would just be awesome. And then the bottom stripe I'm going to do in Mr. Carrisford, because it seems that I can't knit anything
Without bringing
without
in
throwing in
right?
Carrisford.
It's because it goes with everything.
It does, yeah.
And if you like green at all, which obviously we both do,
Yeah.
it just goes.
It's such a pretty green.
Yeah, and it just contrasts against so many different things.
I am whipping right along.
Wow, you're almost done your first
Yeah.
cake. Look, that's what she's got left of her first cake of And how many do you use? 2?
3 of the
orcas?
islands. So
Oh,
that's
it's so
how far
pretty.
along I am. So I've gotten my first purple stripe
I got this.
in.
Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, do you want me to hold it up closer to see? I'm hoping you're getting all the different color speckles. in
Yeah.
it. Because there are what, 9 different color
There are
speckles?
9 different speckles in this yarn, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Really, really is.
And I love the DK weight that we're using right now. It has beautiful stitch definition. So
Is it 100% superwash?
100% superwash, 231 yards per skein. The purple just is not coming, which is too bad. I'm almost done my first cake of orca, and I have to do 3 cakes of orca and the cake of Tsukiko and Carrisford, so this is just gonna be this lovely,
humongous shawl.
huge shawl.
What size needles are you doing it on?
8, I believe. 8, yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think it's a 32-inch cord, so it's gonna be very scrunched up soon because I'm working my way towards 300 stitches before my next stripe.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and you increase every other row, you're increasing 8 stitches, so.
8 stitches.
8, yeah.
I'm doing one where I'm increasing 4 stitches every other row.
Well, I have all, that's part of the, you can see in the picture, it's got a different shape to it. So all my yarn overs create all my points.
Okay. Cool.
It is a very, very potato chippy, watch TV kind of knit. So, really enjoying it, and I love the colors.
All right. Okay. Ready?
Ready.
All right. My second project are my socks that I am working on. These are in Le Revers colorway in our Cotton-Eyed Toad yarn. It is 50% superwash, merino, 50% cotton. I am doing the blueberry waffle sock. I am doing it on size 2, US 2s, 2.75 millimeters. I'm doing it 2 at a time, magic loop. I have just put the first heel in, and I did the stockinette 2 at a time heel from Knit Pearl Hunter.
Oh, you're doing stockinette now?
I decided to do stockinette this time.
Okay.
However, I am going to say that I am loosely basing this on the 2 at a time heel by Knit Pearl Hunter, because I did not go and watch the video. I decided I would remember this and I would remember what to do. And I'm fairly certain I may have done it a slightly wrong, because I have quite
Wow, look at your holes.
a lot of holes, big holes. I am choosing to look at this as I am creating a new heel pattern that has an exquisite lace going along either the sides.
It's breathing.
Breathing, which I will take a strand of yarn and close up after I am finished. But for right now, it's got a little bit of breathing room.
So are you going to look for the next one?
Yes,
or
I am.
Make the same mistake.
Before I do my next one, I will go watch the video and see what I'm doing wrong. What I did was I knit to the end.
Not wrapping your turns, I don't know.
No, I knit to the end,
Okay.
turned it, and wrapped a stitch. Now, since it's called wrap and turn, think I'm supposed to wrap
Wrap it.
before I turn.
Okay, yeah.
But it seems to be the same thing no matter what. Whether you turn first or whether you wrap first, it seems to be.
I don't get my wrap and turns. I obviously do wrong because in my sweater, when I was doing my short rows, I have holes where I wrapped and turned.
I don't know.
So obviously I'm doing it wrong.
So what I am going to do is I'm going to watch the video. And before I do this one tomorrow morning, I will see what I'm doing wrong and see how I'm supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
However, right now, kind of looks like I have teeth in the middle of my.
Well, if it's a fish
Doesn't
lips
look-
kiss, you have teeth.
Doesn't
It's
it look
shark-
like a
shark lips?
Kind of looks like I have, you know, teeth going up. Anyway, I love these socks. I love the squishiness of them. I love the drape of them. I really, really, really love this cotton yarn. I love the fact that the colors are kind of muted because that's my kind of thing. And just really, it's
Beautiful.
a lovely squishy sock. Also, I know I said this last time, this pattern, if you haven't knit this, it flies off the needle. I was saying to Helen this morning, I think I'm at about 5.5 inches, you know, so I have a little bit to go before I put the heel on. I measured it. I was at 8.25 inches, which is more than tall enough for the way I wear my socks. So it's just going like crazy. It's a great pattern. Really, really great pattern. So they're my blueberry waffle socks, and I really love this. You know how I said, like last week, I'm going back on everything that I said. I said I only want to knit vanilla socks because I don't like patterns in socks. Obviously, I've just been knitting the wrong patterns. Because
Right.
this one is good. This one is really,
But
really
you don't
good.
want anything too intricate, but you don't want the vanilla is too boring, so.
I don't mind vanilla. I just, you know, I thought, okay, let me try the blueberry waffle
Yeah.
socks because what I really like are the ribbed socks.
Yeah.
I love the squishiness of ribbed socks.
Well, this is the closest I have seen to the 80s
Ribbed socks, right.
socks.
Which is
Because
why I
think they
decided.
I think they weren't just ribbed. I think they had something like this. So.
Okay. Anyway, I like these socks. So if you haven't tried them yet, the blueberry waffle socks is free pattern on Ravelry. Try them. They're fun. That is project number 2.
3.
2? That's my 2. You've only done 1.
Oh, okay.
This is your second.
So Mary Beth showed her socks last week, and I decided that I really wanted to knit a pair of socks in our cotton yarn too. So I chose the Haunted Hayride colorway to knit. I'm knitting them 2 at a time, so instead of going from the inside and the outside of the ball where we ran into such problems, we just caked up 2 balls. So
I'm finding that to be much easier. I'm doing that with mine as well, and
Yeah.
it really
makes
much easier.
Much difference. Much difference.
Big difference.
Yeah. So I was going along and I was doing my rib, which is just a 1x1 twisted rib. And I hadn't decided, I was kind of leaning towards the blueberry waffle socks, but I hadn't completely decided what pattern I was going to do. Look how pretty that is.
That is really, really pretty. They're perfect fall socks.
Yeah. So just as I was about done my 1x1 rib, somebody, and I wish I remember who, on Instagram put up that she was doing Byron E. Bear's sock club pattern, the Mrs. Potter sock club pattern. And her first one for the club is Jemima. And she put up her Jemima socks, and I loved the pattern. I thought it was so pretty. It's kind of a blueberry waffle-ish with a twist. So I decided I would join the Mrs. because we love Beatrix Potter.
I was going to say, let's start with the fact that it's Beatrix Potter.
Right.
So we're on board right away just because it's
Beatrix
Beatrix Potter.
Potter.
So,
Right. So this is the Jemima pattern. And
how many rows of ribbing did you do?
I did 12.
I think I did too. Oh, I've already put them down. But it seems to, yours seem to be kind of longer than mine. I may just not be remembering my right.
Yeah. Now I did 12 rows of 1x1 twisted rib. I'm on size 1 Haya Sharps.
Okay, how many socks have you knit on the ones?
This will be my first completed pair because I threw the other one across the room.
Oh, okay. So you haven't actually finished it yet.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. I'm wondering if it's going to make a huge difference.
I think it's going to make. I don't think it's going to make a difference so much in size as density of the fabric.
Okay. That
So
kind of makes sense.
Slightly denser fabric.
Right. You also have more narrow feet than I do. I have wide, fat feet and flat.
You knit tighter.
Yes.
Than I do. So, and a couple of my socks, it's not that they're falling down that I knit on the twos. It's just that they were very loose.
Okay.
So, and the feet definitely loose.
Okay.
So rather than going down, because I could have just gone down and stitch count, but I decided I'd try the size 1 for the density of the fabric.
Okay.
And see where that is. So 64 stitches, and it's Byron E. Bear's, her Mrs. Potter sock club. So you can only get it if you buy the 3 patterns.
Does she tell you what the other 2 are going to be?
No, she says they're for beginner to intermediate sock knitters.
But she doesn't tell you the names like she's doing Squirrel Nuckin or anything like that. Okay.
She released, you bought it ahead of time, and then Jemima was the first one.
Okay.
It was released last week.
Okay. Oh, so this is brand new. It's just come out.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1 in September, 1 October, and 1 November.
Okay, cool. So October will be coming out probably. Well, no, maybe she'll do it the middle.
It's like October 20th.
Okay.
It's like the 20th of the month.
It will be just in time for when we go away.
So,
crazy animals.
Jemima. I started these in our trip to North Carolina.
This past weekend?
This past weekend. So this is what I've done, car knitting and just a couple rows each night. So
cool.
Very fun pattern. Love the color of the socks.
I love the color of the socks, and I also am really liking this pattern.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm really liking this pattern.
It's just, I hope you get to see. It's just got a kind of a delicate look to it.
Yeah.
So
it's really, really pretty. No, it's a good one.
So I'm very pleased with having just on a whim bought it.
Yeah, I just bought one this morning because I was watching on a podcast and they were doing the Soul Sister socks by Jules from So Sweet Violet and Amy from The Little Tailoress, and you use minis for it. And it is so pretty.
It really is, yeah.
They're so pretty, and I just went and bought it because, you know, again, it's a pattern sock, and I'm not doing pattern socks.
Also,
but hey,
we don't knit socks. Okay.
But now we are.
I know.
We're knitting. It's like, boom, I'm on to knitting socks.
I go through phases.
Right.
And I am having a problem with my arm. I have a pain in my arm, which I should probably just stop knitting for a little bit, but
that's not going to happen.
So we're not going to I'm not dealing with that yet, but the socks is easier than the sweaters or the shawls because it's not as heavy.
Right. And also it's not as long.
Yeah.
You know, you can do a short bit.
Right.
And put it down and do a short bit,
but even just holding on to it is not pulling
right
on the muscle of my arm. So
all right, on to project number 3. This is, I only printed out the cover of this pattern because I have it on my iPad and I'm writing it in a little journal that I'm keeping. And then I was showing so many people this weekend at the show that is so wrinkly. But I am doing, sorry, I'm trying to straighten it out a little bit. Okay, I am doing the All Points South shawl by Casa Pinka. And it is actually more of a poncho. Poncho.
It's look like you're centering yourself.
Oh, no, it's a poncho because it goes over you. My colors are Falling Leaves, Le River, and Corn Silk. These are the 3 colors. They're all in our Cotton Eye Toad.
Which we're putting all this stuff up, and all our bases, there will be some representation next week, and then throughout October we will be filling them back in again.
But we're going to be listing them online. I ran down to get a FedEx delivery. I may be a little bit flushed. Apologize. Anyway, Casapinka, all points south poncho with my colors. So Falling Leaves, Lay River, and Corn Silk, all in the Cotton Eye Toad. And this is where I am so far.
Look at those red stripes.
I know, aren't they pretty? Love the way the Falling Leaves is knitting. I just adore that color. And then you add the red, and then you come into this delicate little bit of gold.
You got a lot done on that.
Green.
Corn silk.
I know. And creamy background for corn and the silk of corn. But here you can see there are bits where the gold really comes through so that you can see the yellow kernels and everything. It's so pretty. Really love this colorway. I am almost done the lace part with the corn silk, and then I go back into some more stripes. And then I'm going to have a period that I think is all Lay River, which is all going to be the red. I'm pretty sure the way I'm doing it, the white is the red and the blue is the Falling Leaves. So I'm going to have a bit that's all the red, then I'm going to have a bit that's all Falling Leaves, then I'm going to go back into corn silk. Oh, it's going to be so
Is it always in the round, or is there a point where you split and you just start knitting it flat?
No, I think it's all in the round.
Okay.
You just keep adding and adding and adding stitches.
Because you got a lot of adding to do.
A lot of adding to do. And I, as is my norm, did not read the pattern through before I started it. So I have no idea. It's all a mystery, and it's a lovely surprise. I would try this on to show. We are all a little on edge today. Anyway, what I was saying was, before I was so rudely interrupted, I would try this on to show you how it looks, except the thought of wearing anything knit right now is really skin crawling. So
did you decrease?
No. Why?
Because it almost looks like this is wider than this, doesn't it?
Okay, so when I carry my yarn, I have started doing it that I do almost a twist around a wrap stitch.
Right.
Okay. I have this really bad habit. When I wrap it, I'm afraid that there's going to be a hole, so I pull it tight. So that if you feel along, I'm catching myself doing it and trying to stop myself.
Okay.
So if you feel along the edge a little bit on either side of some of the edges, it's like a tighter thing because I pulled the string so tightly that I actually pulled it through a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that it's something that I need to, it's a habit I need to break myself of, because it's ruining the line of the cowl. It is going to be laying on my neck, so it's not going to be like
turtlenecky, so it doesn't show.
Right, it's not going to show at all, but that is why the regular color looks a little bit wider. Also, I'm coming down to 24-inch needles.
Oh no, that so I understood. It was just this part up here. It seems
and I think well, I'm wondering if because the needles are pulling it in,
maybe,
you know, because I'm not really pushing out too hard, and it is the same. Yeah. So I think to a certain extent, it's kind of like a chimney going down type of thing to the needles. We will see when it's all done. However, as you said, there are a lot of stitches to add on, and like I said, it's all going to be a surprise. Yeah. We shall see. I am doing it.
Do you need multiple skeins of these or no?
No, I think I only need one of each.
Okay.
It should be enough. It may be that
it's going to be a surprise.
Well, it may be that this is going to block out wider. You know,
I don't know. That's not going to fit on your shoulder. Comfortable.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know.
It may be a poncho for Brewster.
I really don't want it to be a poncho for Brewster. Brewster is a stuffed bear. I want this to be a poncho for Mary Beth because I'm really liking it and I want it. I also love how the way the stitches are going when I'm adding my stitches.
You're getting the point?
I'm getting the point going down, which is really kind of cool.
You know, all points out.
Hey, look at that. All right. That is project number 3. And it goes.
My final project is from, again, the Toby Roxanne. The whole point of this book of patterns, which somebody asked us on our last, they said they couldn't find it. It's not on Ravelry, and I'm wondering if she is technically debuting it at Rhinebeck, because I know she's got she's going to be signing the books at Rhinebeck, so I'm thinking this may be and we just got a sneak peek of it at the Catskill Fiber Festival.
It could be.
And that's why you can't find it anywhere. But anyway, so she has a particular design, and then she has a shawl and a sweater in that design. So I thought it would be fun, since I'm doing the Tower Hill shawl, if I did the Tower Hill cardigan, because I'm looking for a nice big, comfy, cozy cardigan.
Wrap around yourself cardigan.
Exactly. You know, for walking the moors when it is cold and blowy, because I walk the moors
all the time.
So I needed needles, so I finally got my needles, and I'm taking from our DK stash, and we decided that to fade it. So instead of doing all one color, I'm going to fade. So I also bought the Comfort Fade Cardi pattern, so I can get the idea of the fade, you know, how she fades all the colors in. So
why not make this easy for yourself?
Exactly. Because I wanted to start it right away, and I didn't have a sweater's quantity in one color.
The good thing is we found how many different colors?
4.
4 different colors that we love together.
Oh, okay. Why is that not attached? I'm knitting with that. Okay. So this is the first color I'm going to use, and this is Haunted Hayride. And then I'm going to fade into Midnight Feast, which will then fade into the bonfire, the Halloween bonfire. So they're all very similar.
This would be so pretty.
And then the stripe, the stripes are going to be a chocolate brown. So it's just going to be a really lovely fall color sweater.
It is.
I have managed to complete the first section. So this is the Haunted Hayride. I just love
It's beautiful.
this color. So I am now to a point where I've kind of hit a bit of a stumbling block on the pattern. We think we figured it out. So I'm gonna try
We're gonna
it.
try it and see. It involves
It's picking up stitches in a weird way, and
you're gonna pick up stitches along here
so I have to come over here to like 18 stitches left.
and pick up stitches going down.
Right, and then I
Then knit all the way across. Then on the other side, pick up stitches, and then pick up stitches coming across here.
so essentially this part here in the middle is going to be my collar, and then I'm forming the cap for the sleeves.
Right.
And the front. My problem is my working yarn is over here, and I'm supposed to be picking up over here. So I'm assuming that the pattern forgot to tell me to cut the yarn and start with new yarn.
Yeah.
And I'm just having problems wrapping my head around it, so I think I'm just going to take it line by line and follow the pattern and see what happens. But I think there is no way to do it without cutting. Yeah.
But I'm not sure you want to do that.
Because
I think
it's
you
not-
want, it's
yeah.
not the same one.
I thought about that, and I thought that's the same thing. So I will cut the yarn, and we will see what happens. I've only knit 24 rows. If I have to take them out and start again, I have to take them out and start again.
I'm
And I'll
pretty
just
sure.
magic knot it. But I think, I mean, we kind of worked it through together last night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And the one thing that's missing in the pattern is to tell you to cut the yarn.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Next podcast.
If the camera
If I am
is
knitting
wrapped,
a new sweater next podcast,
you will know.
you will know.
Other than that,
I mean, the problem is I was trying to do it at
10:30 at
10:30
night.
at night, and it was just, Mary Beth was getting it faster than I was, and I was getting frustrated, so.
And this week is not the week to try and figure out new things. So it's just, it's
Good thing I took the bag.
okay. I am going to show you my last project because last weekend or last podcast I said that I was going back on the whole I'm not casting on anything new, and I'm definitely not knitting any new shawls because I don't need new shawls. And then I decided, you know what, I think I'm going to cast on something new for every single podcast. And this
I called her a big fat liar, so she's just going to take that moniker and run with it.
This one happens to be the Bumblebee shawl. It is by the Wool Club. Okay. And they did it out of Sweet Sparrow yarns. And it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning.
Just so happens we are rather fond.
Yes. We went, when was it? Back in June? May? May have been May.
I think it was May, because
May.
I don't think things have gone crazy here yet.
All right, we went to Frame and Fiber in Point Pleasant because she had Julie from Sweet Sparrow Yarns doing a trunk show. And as we were driving up, I was saying that I wanted to get yarn for a pattern, but I didn't want it to be just a garter and then a little bit of lace thrown in. I wanted it to have texture and it to be a little bit more difficult than just straight. Not that I can say that you throw lace at me and I do it perfectly. I normally don't, but I thought, I want to try something with a little bit different, a little bit more texture in it. So sister number 3 is making this shawl, and she had shown it to me, and it's stunning. It is so gorgeous.
Yeah, she is doing it in the colors of the picture, and it's
God,
just
it's so beautiful. And I have been wanting to make it, so I said, okay, that's it. I'm just going to get the Bumblebee shawl. That's what I'm going to do. So I went with that in mind when we went to the trunk show. So that is the way that's the way it looks. And I've been sitting on this yarn since May. This is going to be my main color. It's her Jon Snow colorway.
It's in her Nuthatch base, which is 75 superwash, 25 nylon, 463 yards.
Okay. This is what it looks like caked up. There are speckles in there all over the place.
Look at the goldy speckles. And there are little blue speckles.
And I started it. I have not gotten terribly far, but I have gotten past, the nub.
The 3 stitches.
All right. I have words for that. Okay, so this is what it looks
3
like
stitches?
now. Okay. So that's as far as I've got. I know, it's
that one's coming up really well.
Pretty. It is so, so pretty. And the speckles that are on it are just really beautiful. I have done a lot of shawls that start this way. You cast on 3 stitches, knit 10 rows, and then you turn it 90 degrees.
Oh, I hate that.
Pick up stitches, turn it 90 degrees, pick up stitches, and then pick up stitches going up the other way. And by the time you're done, you have 10 stitches or whatever.
If you design shawls, could you explain in the comments why? Other than a new way to drive me crazy.
I don't get it.
What is the reasoning behind starting that way as opposed to 3 and increasing every other row?
I also kind of want to start a shawl that has like 800 stitches that you cast on and then you break it. That aside, because I'm done that part and it's done. It's over.
Oh, no, but I see it on a shawl pattern. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Then I do it, and it's not that big a deal.
It really isn't that big a deal.
It's just, I think the first time I did it, I was still a relatively new knitter, and it was like my very first shawl. I had no clue what I was doing, and it came out this
And you know what it may do? It may keep the bump from forming.
No, maybe that's
when you do it and you get the bump in the middle, this may keep the bump from forming.
Okay.
I don't know. However, I love this yarn. This yarn is gorgeous. So I have 2 skeins of Jon Snow to do, and then this is going to be my contrast. This colorway is
this pink.
Rockford
Julie
Peaches.
Has such
away with color.
Away with color.
She really does.
There are bits of green in there.
So this is, again, her Nuthatch 7525. And really, when you see Sweet Sparrow yarns, you know it's Sweet Sparrow yarns. She has an overall aesthetic that comes through. But this is the way it's going to look together. It's just going to be... She twists
a beautiful skein of yarn.
Stunning. Which I would love to know how people do that, because no matter what we do, ours come looking like they've, you know, it's coming out of New Jersey on a hot, humid day. There's a little bit of frizz going on. So yeah, no, this is the Bumblebee shawl.
God, this is gonna be gorgeous.
It is. It's going to be so pretty. I had just started this. I really just cast it on. I am doing this on a size 6. Is this?
Because it calls for a 4, right?
I think it's a 6. I'm pretty sure this is a 6.
With my very keen eye, it looks like a 6.
You don't even know where it says.
No, the size.
Oh,
6.
Okay. Your keen eye. I know you can't read that. Anyway, size 6. It is a size 6.
Here comes trouble.
She does call for a size 4. I go up a couple of needle sizes just because I like the way it knits better for me since I am a tight knitter. So yeah, that's where I am so far. I really like this. I just started this 2 days ago, 3 days ago, not very long ago. Oh, I cast it on Monday. That was it, Monday, so Monday. 2 days ago. So it's coming along bit by bit.
Monday we were casting on all the things.
Yep. Telling you, every week I'm casting on something new. All right.
We are just walking away from all the 20 million projects we each have sitting in Whipland, and it's just like, nope, done.
The way I'm looking at it is I am preparing myself for next year. When people start doing, you know, clear the whips and clear the needles, I'm going to be like, oh, I have so much to do. I don't have to think about it. I can just pick and choose. Anyway, I am not giving up on all my projects altogether. It's just I am very intrigued with these. Yeah. Really liking them. So I have a pair of size 6 needles that I need to put back in their case because on my poncho, actually I should put these in the thing because I think I'm going to need them soon. These are a size 32. I went down to a 24 just because it was just a little bit too long for the number of stitches that I had. It wasn't enough to do magic loop, but it was just a little too long that it was stretching it tight. Yeah. So once I went down to the 24, I'm whipping through it so much faster. But I think I am going to keep these in the bag with the project just because as it gets more and more stitches on it, I'm going to want to go up a size. So that's why they're there. All right. That is all for knitting.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we talk about what we've been doing?
Sure.
Because we've been kind of busy. Why are you moving?
Oh, am I?
Yeah, that's you. Sorry. That's not the dogs. Okay. Can't blame it on them this time. We mentioned that we were in North Carolina. We drove down on Friday to do a trunk show at Bella Filati in Southern Pines. And we had such a good time. Yeah, we had a really good time. It was a wonderful day at the yarn shop. Bella Filati is a gorgeous shop.
Maybe I took video and we'll put it in at the end. She's got a gorgeous shop.
It's big, beautiful, and light and airy. Yeah.
Room to move.
Yes.
It's not overly crowded or anything like that.
Right. No, it's really nice. 2 different tables. We took the big table, which I think may have upset some of her knitters because she has knitters that come and sit and knit on Saturdays. She has social knitting on Saturday afternoon. And my goodness, she had a good turnout. There were probably 20-25 knitters there around her smaller table, and I think they really would have preferred to be around the big table because a couple of them were sitting in the back. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a really nice day. We drove down Friday. We decided to take the scenic route. We went down the eastern shore of Maryland and Virginia rather than going 95 because we've done 95 a bunch of times and it's nice, but it's kind of boring.
In the Virginia DC area, it is always traffic.
Right.
So we wanted to just bypass that, and we thought we might possibly shoot over after we got past the Arlington, Virginia area, but it was so pretty. So we just went and we drove the, what was it called?
It's the 23-mile bridge. So.
Yeah. But it's a 23-mile bridge/tunnel
Yeah.
across the water because the eastern shore of Virginia comes along almost like a barrier island from Maryland, and a peninsula, I guess is the correct terminology.
Okay.
And there's a great big body of water that you have to cross to 23 miles worth to get to the shore, the
mainland Virginia. Right.
That was interesting to drive. I was driving.
Helen's driving. She said, all of a sudden, it's just you're driving out above the water,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're going down under it. It's like the bridge disappears, and you're driving down
And
under
you
the
can
water.
see in the distance because it's 23 miles, and you're just watching the bridge, and then as you start to like bend a little bit, it's like, hey, look, right in the middle of the water, the bridge just goes away. And my ultimate fear is driving along a bridge and having it collapsing.
Right.
I mean, the ultimate nightmare is that.
Yeah.
So then as you're coming up along, and then you start to go down, and now you're driving down into the water, and I mean, they have walls, so you don't really see that you're driving into the water.
You still, you know
You're driving into
under the water.
And they don't keep you under there very long.
No.
But
The
it
tunnel
was-
bits are not quite as long.
It was an interesting drive.
It was beautiful. Really, really
And
beautiful.
it was an absolutely gorgeous day, no wind or anything to
Right.
freak anybody out. So
We knew it was okay because almost every light, because they've got street lights going all the way across, almost every light had either a pelican or a seagull sitting on
Yeah.
it. So as long as the seagulls are sitting on the lights, you're good.
yeah,
we
the
know
weather
that.
is okay. So
And then we drove over. We got diverted away from 95 because in North Carolina, basically 95 is closed.
because
They're still
flooding.
trying to recover from hurricane flow or tropical storm flow. And when we called at the beginning of the week to make sure that the yarn store still wanted us to come, and they said, oh yeah, no, come.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit worse than they led us to believe, the weather that they got.
Oh yeah, they were. I mean, a lot of people. You could hear them when they were talking about it at the table that they lost power for 5 or 6 days.
Oh, and the place we were staying, she was explaining to us that half the antenna was gone for the TV, so that,
she wasn't
might
sure
not
the
get-
TV was going to work.
Right, so anyway, when we had gotten in touch with the owner of Bella Filati, she said, come down, we have lodging. And we said, well, we come with dogs, so we'll get an Airbnb. And she said, no, dogs are fine. One of my associates has a guest house that you can stay in. And we thought it was going to be a guest house like, like a guest room almost.
Yeah.
Or like a
mother-in-law suite kind of thing.
Her associate has a 300 acre farm that has a house that used to be her grandparents'. It started out as a log cabin. Her grandparents found the log cabin. They numbered all the logs and moved it to the piece of land that they bought.
Dismantled it.
And then put it back together again,
Right.
following the right structure and everything. In 1985, it was hit by lightning, and it went up in smoke. It was, she said, the pitch and everything with the logs, it just burned right
to the
down.
ground, yeah.
So that she rebuilt it, they rebuilt it, and it is now a larger house, but in the same style of a log cabin. It is beautiful.
This is not a log cabin.
Yeah. Well, it's a log mansion, maybe. 4
This is a
bedrooms,
4-bedroom, 5
bath.
bathroom, in-ground pool in the middle of a pine forest.
Yeah. We know why it's called Southern Pines.
Yeah.
Because
And this is not, I mean, she said it was a 300-acre farm, so I'm expecting cornfields and wide open spaces. And when we met, they said it's, we'll meet you at the shop because it's a little wonky to get out there and you're going to be getting there after dark.
Right.
And so
We're thinking to ourselves, we have GPS.
right,
We can do this.
I mean, really? But we're like, okay, they want to drive us out there, that's fine. So we're driving along, and then all of a sudden she just pulls off into the woods, again with the unpaved road,
Right.
and just pine trees all around us, pitch black. And I'm saying to Mary, this is either really, really cool or absolutely terrifying.
It was really cool.
It was very cool.
It was
But
really
it's just
cool.
set all the way back in the pine trees,
Right.
and so this is a pine tree farm, not like farming,
like
food,
agriculture
right? Food
farm.
farm. So just absolutely gorgeous. We have some footage of us walking the dogs. Pine cones that are like this big.
Our first night we went out, we took the guys out back. we got there at about 8 o'clock, and Allison is the one who owns it, and she was there to greet us and show us the property and everything. And she said, just, there are coyotes and there are hawks. And we said, okay, all right. And then our last bit of walking before we went to bed, we walked around the pool, and there was a toad sitting there, and I said, this is a sign. You know, this is really a sign that this is the right place. And then we started to hear the coyotes howl, and it was like one howled, and then another howled, and then a third one, and you could hear them getting closer.
And the pack was just you kind of got the feeling that the pack was gathering.
Right. And Helen's like, okay, we're going in. We're going in right now. That's it. Everybody in.
Because
you
Spike,
haven't peed,
Spike was starting to bark back at them, so it was just like, no.
Do what you got to do.
Let's not annoy the coyotes.
And we actually found out that Allison, when she first moved there, her dog actually did get attacked by the coyotes.
And she was standing right there.
Right.
Because I was, when we were hearing them, I'm like, is this a situation where they're more scared of you than you are of them? And if you're there, they'll go away.
Nope.
Do I need a stick?
Yes. I believe Allison has a BB gun.
Yeah, they said she has a BB gun, and somebody else was saying we should walk with a golf club. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not walking in the dark.
So we just stayed around the house after dark. But we did go walking in the pines during the daytime, and that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And this is, since our stint in Glassboro, I'm off wood completely. And I was saying to my Beth as we were walking, now why, when I'm walking here, is this okay with me? And
I don't know.
And we haven't quite figured it out yet, but this woods was okay with me. And I think part of it is that it's not a very dense woods, and a very distinct car width path cleared. Right. So that she can drive around the property kind of thing. And that's what we were walking on. We weren't walking in like tiny little overgrown paths or anything like that.
Right.
It was
just a gorgeous
and
house.
Serene and
quiet, really, really nice. Her house, the owner's house, is about a mile down the path that you could go to, and there was a cotton mill on the property that her grandparents also moved. It was just really, really, really interesting, really nice,
and so
gorgeous,
generous.
I know
that they allowed us to stay there.
It was wonderful. It really was. Yeah. So we stayed there. We did the trunk show on Saturday. We had a wonderful day. Met some people. Monica, can I just say, you win the prize. Monica and her husband drove up from South Carolina, 3.5 hours just
each
to go
way.
to the trunk show.
3.5 hours each way. 7 hours of driving just to see us.
Thank you so much.
Really.
Really. And we met a couple of people who watched the podcast. It was a lot of fun talking to everybody and showing them our yarn and our bags, and it was a good day. It was a really good day. And the yarn store had a good day too. So I was going to say, it was nice that she was surprised at how well we did, and then how well it transferred over to her, that she had that much of a better day, which is it's always good that we bring in
you are actually a commodity to bring in. So
no, we had a great day, and then Sunday we stayed over Saturday night, and then Sunday
morning we left
and we drove straight home. We were playing around with the idea of staying over Saturday night, maybe in Frederick or Annapolis or something like that, but then we decided, just go straight home. We can get some stuff done on Monday. We did North Carolina. Next, we are going back to the Catskills. Tomorrow we go pick up our SUV because we are bringing in displays with us, so we need to get the bigger one. The Toadster is not quite big enough. We don't know if we're getting the Dodge.
Yeah, no, we're just getting an intermediate SUV, so pick that up tomorrow, drive up Friday.
We have an Airbnb, different Airbnb.
Yep.
Different. Kind of hoping it's going to have a little bit better TV than the one that we did.
It had a Roku or something, so
so we're hoping
that we can watch our Parks and Rec.
Oh my gosh, we are so totally wrapped up in Parks and Rec.
We are so. I mean, every year we both look forward to fall TV premieres,
right?
Because we love TV. Okay. We might have said that we love TV.
Can I mention again how much we love TV?
And this year we are so wrapped up in Parks and Rec. It's like, it's taping. We'll watch it later.
Right.
That's all the new shows, except for The Voice. We did watch The Voice.
Yeah. Because The Voice is awesome. But Parks and Recreation is just...
Yeah. I I don't know what was wrong with us. Why
Neither
we
do
didn't
I.
watch it when it was on.
I don't either. It's just we are going through season 5 so fast. We're almost done season 5.
And there are only 2 left, right?
Right,
After
6
that.
and 7. So
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it all over again.
It's one of those things. It's just having so much fun. Anyway, so we
are going back to Bethel, New York. Different location. This one is at the Bethel Center for the Arts, which I believe is the actual location of the Woodstock concert. And it's called In the Making is the festival. This is a giant craft fair.
If you are anywhere in the area,
this is going to be really cool.
I mean, no, this isn't only a craft fair,
right?
Because Joann's has a booth there, Michael's has a booth there,
Crayola
Fabric has a booth there,
Swatch is going to be there.
Swatch is going to be there.
Swatch the dog, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Anybody who's watched Project Runway knows Swatch the dog.
So,
he's going to be there.
There's going to be all sorts of music, live music.
There's a chainsaw demonstration again.
Right.
A chainsaw thing.
So there's going to be a pet tent where they're going to have pet adoptions. Very dangerous.
We don't have room in the car. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we're getting a goat.
Come and buy all of my stuff so I can fit my goat in.
Okay, there you go. Challenge.
Yeah. So there's going to be the pet adoption, and there's going to be the shopping area, which is the makers like us and things like that. Then there's going to be bigger tents that are make and takes from Michael's and Joann's and bigger company Crayola, that kind of thing. There's going to be music. There's a beer tent. There's food.
We are going to be doing a make and take.
Pricey ticket. So if you go to inthemaking.com and you do it before Thursday, they have a discount code to buy it online.
Okay.
So that because I'm pretty sure it's $25 a ticket for the weekend.
For both days, though.
But you get both days. It's Saturday and Sunday.
We are going to do a make and take. We are bringing back when we were the gift store. We had our Keys to Happiness necklaces, and you chose a key pendant and then charms that made you happy, that represented things that made you happy, and you made your Keys to Happiness, and we are going to be making those again. So
right.
we ordered all the charms online and the keys, and we have to make sure we bring those and don't forget them.
Also, we have to get all the accessories.
But that is kind of cool that that's coming.
Yeah.
So,
and then we take a breather for a bit.
Yes. Then we are going to be, we have orders to fill. We have quite a few orders to fill that we're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks. And
then just general admin. We've moved the store to a different host, so now we have to fill it.
So yeah, we're going to, and advent calendars. We have such a cool plan for the advent calendars, so those are going to be dyed and going out. And then October 29th, we are going to be at Winterberry Yarn in Columbia. I thought the 28th was, maybe it's the 28th. It's the Sunday.
Yeah.
So the Sunday, either the 28th or the 29th of October, we are going to be in Winterberry Yarns in Columbia, New Jersey. So we will be there for that. But the week before that, I think it's like the 22nd through the 26th, we're going back to Lancaster. We got the same house, the same floor. We're going to go and we are going to relax and we are going to knit and watch the waterfall and maybe go to some fabric stores.
Go visit the Amish and see some fabric stores,
and just walk with the guys.
Some antique stuff.
Yeah, but we're just going to go and relax. There is nothing work related with it. It is just relaxing, and we're very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So, but this weekend is our last big one until the end of the month.
Yeah.
So, all right, and that is what we are doing. So, do you have your do you know?
I have my do you know.
Do you want to go first or shall I?
I'll go first. Huh?
Go for it.
Mine is very small.
Okay.
It's not like I'm just going to spark off discussion. Did you know, like when you say I'm going to be there in a jiffy?
Yeah.
That's an actual measurement of time.
Is it really?
Yes.
A jiffy is what?
1/100th of a second.
Okay, so if I say I'm going to be there in a jiffy, you know I'm lying.
Right. I don't think you move that fast.
I'm pretty sure I don't. My mind does, but the rest of me not so much.
So yes, a jiffy is an actual unit of time. 1/100th of a second.
That is very cool.
I did not know that.
Okay. I did not know mine either. However, did you know that Oscar the Grouch was originally orange?
No, I did not.
The first season he was orange.
Huh.
And then Jim Henson decided that he would be better green, so the second season he was green.
This is an indication of where our moods were this morning.
Yep. And when people asked him, you know, you were orange last year, what happened? He said, I went to a vacation in a swamp and it turned me green. And I decided to stay green. So Oscar the Grouch for the first year was actually orange.
Okay.
There you go.
What
I wore orange.
Oscar the Grouch.
I looked
Other
up.
than we were both being grouches.
I looked up random trivia.
Okay.
And it was something that popped up. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that,
That's sort
and
of
I can
like
work with that.
my snail thing last week.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oscar the Grouch originally was
Yeah.
orange. There you go.
Okay.
We are bringing you knowledge.
Yes.
You're welcome. Because you really needed to
I
know
was
that.
going to say useless knowledge. Take up.
However, if you are in trivia and they say, what color was Oscar the Grouch before he was green, now you know.
Yep.
Okay. I believe we are done.
I think so. We will insert some a little bit of footage from this past weekend.
Yeah.
The video of the store, some pictures of the place where we stayed.
I took video of the second floor and then something happened and I didn't take video of the first floor, which is really too bad, but you get an overall feel.
I have pictures of some of it because the wooden doors were just insane and the keys were just,
Yeah.
you'll see. It was just
amazing.
an amazing.
And every
And
bed
the
had a
woman
quilt.
who owned it, she had pictures up all over the place. And there were pictures of somebody meeting JFK and somebody meeting Lyndon Johnson. So Mary Beth asked her if that was her grandparents because it's her grandparents' house. She's like, no, that was my great uncle, who was Adlai Stevenson. So,
Yeah.
Good pedigree.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, we'll put that in at the end,
Okay.
and we will see you.
Next week
Yes.
we will be yeah, well, we
Curled
should.
up in the fetal position.
No. We'll be done by then. It'll
Yeah.
be more breathing room. Although we do have, as I said, we have orders piling
Yeah.
up. We got to get on them, but we have to get through this weekend, and then it's good to go.
Yeah,
And this weekend is going to be fun. It's going to be really
I'm looking
fun.
forward to it, and we need to find somebody to look at our booth so we can go off and
Actually, explore
yeah.
and find things. Yeah.
We have to be nice to the people around us.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Go forth and knit, everybody.
Have a wonderful week. Bye.
This is the view off the back porch of the house. We are walking the dogs on the property of this beautiful house, and this is just where we get to walk. It's really a shame we get stuck in these horrible places. That was sarcasm. So that's what you can see of it, the house where we're staying. And then as we drove up the driveway, we sort of thought that that was the main house and this might be the guest house.
Get the tiles.
But this is just an old, we think it's a grain mill. And here's an old like outdoor sink trough area. Look at the tiles. And then if you come in to the barn, there are these stairs in the doorway, and of course, you know, I'm gonna have to go see what it is. The lights don't work. So here we go. If I die, Mary Beth will post this and you will see my death. I watch way too much TV.
Don't go in.
Ah, it's locked. Mystery solved. Back down we go. See, there's the old mill part of it. And there's a bell. Which I will ring. Okay, it's very loud. How cool is that?
Did you get the wheel on the other side?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Drusilla is not happy with me in here. See, I'm fine, honey.
There's a picket fence, well, a stockade type
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Look, there's a stockade type fence.
Okay, okay. Well, did you want to go upstairs too? Let's go look at the fence. Rose bushes climbing up the side of the barn. Oh, it's a clothesline. Oh, I got the garbage, Mary Beth. So to all our friends in New Jersey, I'm not sure we're leaving. We may have just moved to North Carolina. If somebody could go get my cats, that would be great. No, don't do that. Spiderweb or you fell?
Spiderweb.
Come on, this way. Go stand by the pool and look out.
Okay.
Because, you know, that's the money shot.
I saw the sunrise over it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Are you still taking?
Yeah. Why? I'll take the sound out.
This is the second floor of the house. You come up the stairs and there's a lovely little hallway. Here's one of the rooms that has 2 beds, 2 double beds. The furniture in this house is just unreal. And every bed has a quilt on it. It's just gorgeous. And then here is the second floor bathroom, complete with shower. Love the shelves with the towels and sheets on them. And this is the room that I'm staying in. The rugs are just rag rugs that are so nice. So nice on the feet. And then you have a bed, huge bed. And looking out the window, there's a pool outside. This place is amazing. We're off to walk the dogs. All right.
That comfort big party is not. I know it's 5, but I think for my sizes for me.
Oh, you need to do it a couple of
See what she said. She's got a 4 coming in 20. But I don't know if she is smaller. Oh no. Not that you have to actually follow her directions.
So as far as changing the color, I figured you just use her for the shape of the sweater and then you change colors however you want. Just make sure you have the yardage.
Right. So I think if I'm looking at it this way. I feel like face paint kind of works with all the colors.
It has all of them in it, so.
Yeah, so I could get all, I mean, basically, I'm just looking at getting the yardage. What did I do now? I can't remember today. Calculator. Also, if you have made any of her patterns, this girl's like 5'10" and weighs 90 pounds. So,
Oh, Andrea Mowry?
yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely time, and here we go. There's the pool. This is the drive on the way down. We talked to Allison yesterday, and that actually is a cotton gin, cotton mill. Not this one, it's the red house. This is another rental house on the property where evidently there are black walnuts and pecans all over the place.